Everyone. I want to welcome you to the All Peak Team Call. Tonight is Tuesday, November 14th, and I am Jennifer Straub. I am a QNMD from Louisville, Kentucky, and I've been with the Juice Plus company now for 15 years. I've seen amazing differences with my family. My son was adopted and very malnourished when we brought him home, and he was diagnosed as a severe asthmatic. He's on 5 breathing treatments a day, 2 steroids, and they told us he would never be able to play sports. Broke our hearts, and after about 4 weeks of Juice Plus, we started weaning him off of the breathing treatments, and he is now a very lively 13-year-old boy on travel soccer, school soccer, church soccer, basketball, you name it, he does it. And I thank that opportunity for him for Juice Plus. So that's been my journey. And what an honor for the Juice Plus company to put together a Brave Leader program. And I was a part of that Brave Leaders program, learned so much, but I had the opportunity to meet Stacey Whitmer. She was an incredible part. We had 8 people on our pod, and we've all stayed close together. And it's been such, I encourage any of you to get into that program if you can. It's been such an honor to walk this journey with these ladies. Stacy is a rock star beyond all others. She is a very busy mom of 2 boys. She married her high school sweethearts, and they were both Division I full ride scholarship athletes. And now they have a 6- and 7-year-old boys, and I think it takes the best athlete to keep up with that. And she has been on an amazing journey within 3 years, walking the stage as NMD, and that takes diligence, it takes perseverance, it takes focus. And so I'm going to turn it over to Stacy to tell us how she did that. And I get inspired by her every time I talk to her. So Stacy, it's all you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Jennifer. It is such an honor to be on this call. Thank you so much, Jennifer and Nikki, for inviting me. Like she said, I'm Stacey Whitmer, and I started my journey. Actually, my 3-year anniversary is today, so that's so exciting. You know, my whole life changed with food when my oldest son was born, who's now 7. So he had, at 4 months old, we started rice cereal, just like the doctors had asked us to do. And at that point, about an hour after we gave him the cereal, he started vomiting so profusely that his body almost went into shock. He almost lost him. It was at that point that our whole lives changed with food, because it had to. And I was not a stay-at-home mom at that point. I was a full-time working corporate America mom. I worked in 11 years in corporate America in a fancy job with fancy outfits and fancy shoes every single day, because I didn't know there was anything else out there. I didn't think anything else existed. I truly was not aware that this life was possible. And it was when my son had that issue, when my heart yearned to be home with him. I had one dream at that point, and that was to stay home with my kids, but I never thought it was possible, ever. So the first half of my career in corporate America was fine, but the second half was really hard, because I was doing something I didn't love. I had no passion. My head wasn't there. My heart wasn't there. And our lives were very different than the job that I was doing. So as life happens, when you're in corporate America, you're a number. And October of 2014, my number was called. And I was downsized for my company. And I remembered thinking, actually specifically, I giggled. I remembered when they said, "I'm sorry, your position is no longer available." And I giggled. And the woman on the other end of the phone said, "Did you just giggle?" And I literally thought back, did I just giggle out loud? Like, I didn't even realize I was laughing, because I was thinking, I'm free, complete freedom. It was such a load off that I didn't have to do something I didn't want to do again. And the other part was, I didn't want to be where I wasn't going to be with my kids. So 10 days after I got that phone call, I learned about Juice Plus, and I never looked back since. I was at a wine and wellness event. A friend introduced me to the product. About 3 weeks later, I jumped into the product with my family, and about 2 weeks after that, I dove into the business. I was on a mission, because I knew this was my path. I knew this product was tremendous. The research is unmatched. And it just made sense for the health of my family, for the health of other people, and I knew I needed to share it. So I dove into this business head first, but understand that I had 2 kids at home now. And now I was a stay-at-home mom with a business that I was trying to build. So I needed to learn to be really efficient really, really quickly. Because at that point in my life, when I was downsized, I was paying my nanny more than my mortgage to raise my kids. It was heartbreaking. And I knew that this was my opportunity to never have to go back to corporate America again. I was never walking out of my house again unless it was on my terms, ever. And Juice Plus has fit into my life and has built me. I am building an empire, and I am so blessed that I have never gone back to corporate America again, and I never will. This is my forever, and I'm truly grateful. So when you are now doing this business, I've got 2 little boys at home. I needed to learn to be really efficient. So I came up with a strong DMO. So understand that there is a lot of good DMOs out there. But for me, I've always done my business like find a need, fill a need. And I felt like I needed something that was a little bit more specific for me and for my team, and something that themed every single day. So I created my DMO, and I'm going to share that with you right now. It says I'm not able to share screen. It says host disabled, that option. Let's see if I can try now.
Okay, let me see. I don't know why it's doing that. It's never done that before. We were just on this call, this number last night, and the woman shared her screen. Yikes. So
I can speak to it without it, and I can always send it to you after.
That might work. In the meantime, I'm going to see, because I'm not sure how to get from looking at you to my account. I've never done that before. So let me just play and you talk. Okay. We'll see what we can do.
So my DMO is very themed. I theme everything. I think it's just more fun when things have more exciting names. It's just the way I work. So every single day has a specific task, because let's think about what DMO means. In certain places, it's daily method of operation. And I know you guys have a different phrase of that, and I love it. So each and every day is an opportunity to do BBA, I call it, business building activity. And it's important that you are very intentional with your time. You know, we all have 24 hours in a day. How you spend it when you're doing and focusing on Juice Plus is going to make you tremendously successful, or it's going to make you really just be working in a circle. And our goal is to get out of that circle mode where we're not growing and take off. So we start with Mondays. Mondays I call Momentum Mondays. It's all about building for the week. Let's think about what momentum means. Momentum means the continuation of something over and over again, and it's gaining speed and it's gaining oomph as it continues to go. So that's what we're trying to do on Monday. We're trying to launch our week strong. And the way we're going to do that is with our hot hands list. Your hot hands list is a list of 10 people that your goal is to move them to an action that day. So you're going to take 10 people off your memory jogger, and the action that you're trying to move them to could be anything. It could be having them jump in and order the product. It could be maybe them becoming a new distributor. It could be something as simple as getting them to agree to listen, or getting them to agree to listen to the message that you sent or the video that you sent. And then you're going to set a follow-up date for the next day to make sure they've heard it or make sure they listen to it. So you want to focus on those 10 people to move them to an action. And that action can be so many things. But now that list of 10 people is made on Sunday. I know who I am getting in touch with on Sunday. And that action of where I'm trying to move them, that is also next to that person's name. I have a goal in mind. There is a specific action I want to connect to that person, and all of that is written out the day before. So now that's Monday. Let's go to Tuesday. Tuesday is Team Building Tuesday. It's all about focusing on your team. Now, if you're brand new and you don't have a lot of team right now, well, guess what? Today's a great day to figure out who you want on your team. Who have you not reached out to that you want to share this business with? maybe your family or friends. Tell them why you want them to do this with you. It's an opportunity to, it's not allowing me to do it, but that's okay. I can send it to you guys after. It's an opportunity for you to reach out to anybody that you feel fit to be part of this business with you. Now, let's remember one thing. We get to choose in many situations who we want to do this business with. So when we're brand new and we're going to be asking those questions of who do I want to do this business with, really think about who those people should be, because they might not be the people immediately that come to mind. It might be a friend of a friend. It might be someone who has the characteristics that you're looking for to be your next rockstar distributor. So understand that you get to choose who you get to ask into the business, so choose wisely. Now, if you are, and have existing customers and you're looking to build team, dive into your customer base. Your raving fan customer potentially could be your next rock star new distributor. It's an opportunity to dive in and talk to them about the business, but they're never going to know the business exists if you don't ask. So the other piece of Team Building Tuesday, and I'm going to share my screen now. Yay! So here's it, and I'm going to launch into this. Can you guys see?
Yes.
Okay. So the other part of Team Building Tuesday, if you have a current team, is you want to go into your virtual office and let's run some numbers. Let's run our past PVC report from last month. Where did people stand? How did people do with qualifying? How close were they? What do they need to do for this month to get there? We want to help them set goals. So understand that as a leader, it's important that we dive in and make sure that we are aligning activities to the goals our team members are trying to reach. It's not just saying, hey, you need 3 new trios to qualify your business. How are we going to get those trios? What activities or events are aligned to you hitting this goal this week, this month, whatever it may be? So Tuesday is all about diving into your team and setting up the activities that you want them to put in front of their week, in front of their month, in order to hit those goals. Make sure as their leader, you're setting up 3-way calls, launch calls, whatever that may be for that person to help them build. I always say that one of the most important things that as anybody, as people, that we need to remember is to focus on big rocks first. We want to focus on the big priorities first. And we want to make sure our team is doing the same. Because like I said earlier, we could be very, very busy every single day doing work that's creating this circle effect. But we might not necessarily be productive. We need to focus on the big rocks first and help our team do the most important business building activities each day so that we are getting in a mode of launch, that we're not just doing the busy activities that aren't making us effective or productive. The way I lead my team is with 4 specific words: encourage, inspire, support, and motivate. All 4 of those words really speak to who we want to be as distributors for our teams. And it's important that we help to lead by example so that they then can do the same when they start leading their teams. So now let's talk about Wednesday. Wednesday, I call Wrap Up Wednesday. We are going to tie up loose ends. Anything that was open from Monday or Tuesday, we want to try to get to a close today. Any of those actions that we wanted to move those 10 people to, if we're following up on Tuesday or following up today, our goal is to make sure anything that was left open, whatever action has not yet been in place, that we are moving those 10 people to that action, or at least we're getting closer to it. That at least maybe we're getting closer to a follow-up that we can do in reference to that specific action. So on Wednesdays, another thing that we do is focus on events. We want to make sure that we have our events set up for the month, for the upcoming months. We want to make sure that we're searching for events, vendor events, whatever it may be. And then the other thing that we focus on Wednesdays is inviting to those events. We want to spend a small amount of time creating an invitation, like minutes, and the more than the invitation is the invite. We want to make sure that we're personally inviting to this event. You want to engage someone and tell them why. I want you to be a part of this event because. I would love for you to join me because it's an opportunity for you to directly connect with someone to tell them why you want to invite them to that specific thing. So make sure that when you are setting up those events, whatever they may be, you make your list of people that you want to invite and engage, and you personally invite them. Now, here comes Thursday. So Thursday and Monday are my two favorite days of the week. I call Thursday Thank You Thursday. Thursday is all about your customers. The very first Thursday of every month, I print out my customer genealogy report. And one of the things that you want to make sure you're doing every week, but specifically when I run it on the first of the month, is to look for declined credit cards. In that right-hand column, you're going to see a D. D means declined. We want to make sure we fix that by the end of that month, because if that declined card goes beyond 30 days, we lose points and we're not getting paid on that customer. So it's important we move that D to an A for active. We want to look for the C cards, canceled cards. We want to understand, did someone cancel and I missed it? Right? We want to know who's canceled. What does our genealogy look like? Because it's really speaking volumes about our business. Something else you want to focus on is your R's. In your genealogy, anyone that has an R, and I recommend that you do this for your team as well, people have R's, that means it's a delayed shipment. Now, that's okay for a little while, maybe for a month, but how many times do you have someone that's a delayed shipment for maybe 3 months, 4 months, 5 months, 6 months? I mean, you can have a delayed shipment for a very long time. What does that tell you? That customer is not being consistent with the product. And one of the most important things that I say whenever I'm talking to a customer is, have you made Juice Plus a habit yet? Because if they have made it a habit, we're not going to have too much of that postponed shipment. So it's important that you're looking at that, because if it's a postponed shipment, you're also not getting the points for it. It's not rolling into your numbers. You're not getting paid on it. If it's outside of their 4 months, if it keeps being delayed, we want to try to reactivate them and pull those numbers back. So the other thing I do on Thursdays, because it's all about customers, is I pick 5 people in my customer base every single month that I call I love on. And what that means is I send them something. I send them maybe a gift card, or if it's right now it's cold, so I found these great scarves, and for some of the women I sent them these beautiful scarves. For some of the guys I send them a gift card to if I know where they like to eat, or Dick's Sporting Goods because they're athletics. I send 5 people a month something special, because number one, that sets us apart from everybody else on the planet when it comes to a product. And also because it makes people understand that I am happy to be on this journey with them, and I want to be. So it really gets people engaged. It makes people really love that we get to do this together. And the other thing is, I know some people send all their customers something at the holiday time, and that's perfect. If that works for you, do it. Well, why I like to do it all throughout the year is because people get surprised to get something on a random Tuesday in January or in September, so it makes people feel really important. So as I have customer conversations every single week, and I say conversations because it's actually a phone. Like, I pick up my phone and I call people. I think this: you cannot hear or feel passion behind a text message or a Facebook message. You just can't. It's important that people hear the passion in your voice, and you want to hear what you're getting on the other end. So on Thursdays, I pick up the phone and I call my customers every single Thursday. And because I know that's not so comfortable for people, I created a formatted conversation, a very simple 3-step conversation that is going to walk you through what to say and how to say it. I call it TRE. You want to thank, reinforce, and expand. So what's that going to look like? So when I get on a call with somebody, after we chit chat for a little while, maybe we banter, the first thing I'm going to do is thank them. Thank them for being a customer and making one simple change with Juice Plus. Thank them for allowing me to be on this health journey with them. Thanking them about being able to be a part of our world and allowing me to be a part of it. The next part comes reinforce. You want to reinforce why they started on the product and the benefits they have had. You also want to reinforce what Juice Plus can do in totality. So that's going to look like, so Jennifer, I know you started on Juice Plus because your family's immune systems weren't that strong. And after talking to you every month, I know that your kids have been so healthy and you haven't had to miss work. Nothing makes me happier to know that your family is doing so well with the product. And just know one thing, that Juice Plus and building your immune system is just one piece of this incredible puzzle that it is doing for your bodies. And just know that your family is getting a tremendous product in their system every single day because you're choosing to give them Juice Plus. Okay, so that's what reinforce looks like. Why they started, what it's done for them, and then what Juice Plus can do in totality. The last part is expand. You can expand to other products. The Tower Garden, a program like the Shred 10. The Omegas now, it's a perfect opportunity to call our customers to share the Omegas. And the business. This is the best time to introduce the business. If you have a raving fan customer and you thank them, you're reinforcing why they started, what it's done for them. And then you turn around and say, listen, Jennifer, we've been on this journey for the last 2 years together. I know that you love this product. I know that it's done tremendous things for your family. Do you have a handful or more people in your life that you feel could benefit from this product just like you have? Bam, I just opened up that door to talk about the business. So it's a great way, it's a great simple way to thank, reinforce, and expand when you're on the phone with your customers. Because sometimes it might be unsettling, but I'm telling you, you are going to have way more impact when you talk to people on the phone than you are if you just message them. So that's what Thursday's all about. Now we come to Friday. Friday is final follow-up Friday. Our focus for Friday is to close all gaps that have been opened. Anything that is still open, we want to close. We want to make sure our event dates are set, our personal invites are sent out. We want to make sure that the activities, the actions that we wanted those 10 people to move to are either done or we're in process of follow-up. We just want to make sure that anything that we wanted to accomplish has come to an official close, or at least has an opportunity for a follow-up for next week. Now, Saturday and Sunday, a lot of us do events on the weekends, but we want to make sure that when we're out with friends or family and people say, what are you up to? Guys, stand tall and make sure that you are proud to share your product. To share our product, to share your story. You know, people want to know what you're up to, tell them and be excited to tell them, because we are always one conversation away from changing someone's life forever with the power of what our product can do. But it's up to us to open our mouths and to share it. And then on Sunday, it's an opportunity for you to set up your DMO for the next week. Focus on the activities and the next group of 10 people that your goal is to move them to an action. And now if you were on my team, you would know I say the same things over and over when it comes to certain things. Your main focus is to be intentional with your time. If you're going to spend a half an hour on Juice Plus today or 2.5 hours, make that time focused and intentional so that you're not just being busy, that you're being extremely productive, because they're two very different things. You know, I've been guilty of sitting down and having an hour to do Juice Plus, and I open my email and there's so many emails, and I say, you know what? Let me clean out my email box and then I'll get started on my Juice Plus activities. And guess what? 20 minutes later, I now only have a little more than a half an hour to focus on Juice Plus. I wasted that intentional time doing something insignificant. If it's not a business building activity, it does not count as intentional time. So you want to make sure that when the time that you are spending is focused and intentional, so that you can move your business in completely different directions. And I hope this DMO is something that can help you. So the best way to be intentional with your time is for you to plan how to use it. And that is what that was helpful to you. And I see we have some chats in here. Okay. Do you guys have any questions for me?
Hey,
I don't know.
Stacy, I'm wondering if you could just put up the very first slide just so people could see it, because it's the only one we missed was Motivational Monday, and I think it'd be cool to see it.
You got it. Let me click here. Momentum Monday. Here we go.
So that gives everybody a quick look.
Can you see it? I'm trying to move that. Okay. And I have this on a PowerPoint, Nikki. I'm happy to send it to you so that you can share it out if you wanted to.
Great. And
yeah,
Jennifer,
Monday is all about your hot hands list.
I have unmuted you, and if you want to do a stop share, Stacy.
You got it.
Cool.
Well, I am just amazed. Thank you. It's amazing how much, and this is how every conversation with Stacy is. It's amazing how much she can put into a short amount of time and have the biggest impact that you can put into action and move forward. I mean, I thought I had a DMO. I don't have a DMO. It's amazing the information that you can put in a small amount of time. Does anybody have like a question to ask? We only have a few minutes left. Does anybody have something you'd like to ask Stacy before we close?
And if you do, you'll want to unmute yourself. So just go to the microphone, bottom left if you're on the computer, and if you're on your phone, unmute your phone. And we've got 3 minutes. We can go to 6:30. Somebody want to ask her a question? Go for it. We got the queen of DMO, Daily Magnificent Outcomes.
I love it.
I have 3 questions. Really quick. Number 1, do you do postcards for your customers? Number 2, how much time a week do you allot for social media and what day do you do it? And number 3, do you have any reward system for yourself on a weekly basis? If you've finished your DMO, do you have anything that's ingrained in your DMO to kind of pat yourself on the back?
I can tell you, I'm trying to find you in here. What is your name that you're?
Mariah. Hi.
Oh, I see you. I see you now. Hi. I do send postcards. I do. I send postcards. A lot of times I keep track. So I keep track of everything I do in the virtual office. Under your customer's account, when you open up, if you go to Address Book and open up your customer account, there's actually reference notes where you can type reference notes and it saves them in chronological order. So I keep notes of their children's birthdays and their birthdays, and I try to be very diligent of that. And I'll send out postcards for their birthdays. I send out they have the really cute kid postcards with the kids' activities with a little note, and I put that in a bigger envelope with some stickers and like a one simple change chart. So yes, I do send out postcards on the off months that I'm not sending them something specific. So I'm not doing it every month. Probably maybe quarterly, maybe 4 times a year, I'll send them a postcard. I love to write out cards. So I'm a constant card writer-outer. Love me some cards. So yes, I do that. I do social media. I do it a small amount of time every day. I don't have a specific day for that. I allot myself a very small amount of time. Now I communicate with my team mostly through social media. So when I'm focusing on my business, I shut off my notifications and all of them. Done. I'm completely out of Facebook world and I'm just focusing on my business. When I'm focusing on some of my team or trying to dive in, ask questions or something, the only thing I do not scroll. I manage social media through my notifications, and I will message people through Messenger or something like that. We do a lot more group Messenger than we do Voxer. It just seems to be what my team likes. You can create a team name for it and everything. You can change, like my team is Team on a Mission. So I have Team on a Mission leaders. I have Team on a Mission qualifiers, Team on a Mission building to qualifiers. So I have different groups in my Messenger, and that just seems to be what works for us. But yeah, so with social media, listen, social media is tricky. You can get completely wiped away by social media. It can be something that's very distracting if you allow it to be. So when you are zoned in and it's your building time, it's your time to focus, shut it down. And even if you're getting notifications and all, just ignore it. I'm telling you, you're going to be a lot more effective when you shut off those messages and those notifications, because every time you're distracted, it takes so much more time to get back into your task at hand. Does that help?
Absolutely. And then my last question, my kids just brought up the chore chart idea, and I'm kind of mulling around giving myself a chore chart.
Okay.
So when I finish my DMO, that I reward myself with some stars and something. I'm wondering if you've ever played with that idea, or just how do you reward yourself on a short-term basis, not just long-term goals?
So, I'm going to be honest. I'm a numbers driven, like my reward is looking and seeing it's the 14th of the month and we've added 10 new distributors, like that's my reward. That means that the new challenges we just started in November are clearly working. I am driven by the impact we're making. So I don't necessarily do that. I think it's a great idea. I think it sounds like it would be so much fun to do that. But for me, my reward system is the end of the month, is watching the impact every single month, looking at the bottom of my PVC report and seeing the amount of lives we touched by customers. That's really where that just fires me up. And my goal is to make that bigger every month. Does anybody
Stacey,
have
thank you. That was fabulous.
Awesome.
I'm going to ask everybody if they can unmute themselves because we need to give Stacey a huge, big team thank you.
Thank you
Remember,
so
unmute.
much.
Thank you.
Stacey, so good.
Thank you.
I'm so much smarter than I was.
That's great. Good night, everybody.
Night.
Thanks so much, guys.